Hey everybody, welcome back to Mel's Board Game Room. Today I'm going to show you the game Kinfire Delve, Callous Lab. So this is a game that I got and I did an unboxing video on this not too long ago. So if you want to see like in details all the cards, and they're beautiful, so I recommend that you do. You can definitely go there. Today I'm just going to show you real quick how the game plays. So I have it all set up here. Let me show you. So I have the game all set up. Now, one thing I would say is use this box is so sturdy. I can't get over how great of a box this is. And I've been using it as my dice tray when I'm playing this game. So I've got the game all set up here. So with this game, you can play 1 to 2 players. If you have multiple boxes, because I've got 3, and you can combine 2 of them to bring in extra characters and play up to 4. Actually, over the weekend, we played this one at 4 players, and it was a lot of fun. It's a cooperative game, and you need to delve down into, you know what, I don't remember what they're calling it here, if this is like they got the rule book here, so I'm just going to check real quick in the setup what it's called. If it specifies. Oh, so it's the well. We're going down the well. And once we reach the bottom, we're going to be defeating the big boss at the end. So there are 3 cards here. All 3 of these are big boss. So every time you play, you would shuffle these and randomly pick one and put it down. And you don't know which one it's going to be. It's one of the 3. Now I'll show you. It's not going to be this one, which is good. This one has a health of 30. It's called. Let's see if I can get it. Zoom in. Maybe Mental Landscape. It's struggling, but and it reveals different things once you reach it. Right now, we're dealing with this portion over here. So you got again. Oh my gosh, it's my phone is struggling. But it's zooming really well here. Oh, I guess I don't have to go so close. There you go. Well, you won't be able to read that, but it says you start by putting 10 progress onto this card on the Callous at the start of the game. If it is removed from him before you reach the bottom of the well, you lose the game. It's one of those games where there's multiple ways that you can lose. The only way to win is to defeat the bad guy. So each box, each game has a different way that the main boss plays. This one, you add the 10 progress on it, and you don't want it to ever come down to 0, but we'll keep that in mind. So we all have our character card. This one is in flip, so I'll flip them over. We have our character cards. Each character has their own special ability. There is also the lantern cards. They each have a lantern cards that if we get to activate it, it gives us kind of like a strong ability you can activate. Now, depending on the number of players, how many cards you would start with. So in the 2-player games, we would have 7 cards to begin with. So when I played with the 4, we had 5. So we would draw 7 cards. I don't know if I shuffle these. I'll give them a quick shuffle. These cards are really nice quality, and you can see like they have like that golden accent on it. I love them. Okay, so 7 cards. So I would have 7 cards. They would start with 7 cards. Now, at the start, you would take your, and I forget already, your well deck, and you're going to place one on either side of this one. So there's different kind of cards that you can get. This one is a puzzle. So you have the puzzle, you have traps, you have combat, you have obstacle. You're also going to come across events. And when we're doing something wrong with the events, when you get the event, it's not one thing that gets immediate. It goes out. Now, it kind of clutters up the cards, and you have to complete the event in order to be able to clear it off and be able to play. So the goal is to defeat all of these cards that are around our main boss so that we can bring out new cards, but so that we can go through this deck. Now, a lot of them are going to have this ability. So this one, you can see it has a health of 14. If we are successful, we get to delve by 4 cards. And what that would mean is, like, if we successfully defeat this puzzle, we can take 4 cards that we would put into, I guess, like our discard. They call it different because there's also a discard. This one would be discarded. This one would delve because there is the possibility that some cards would come back. And then we would bring a new card out. And this one here is a puzzle. Now, there are colors to these cards. This one was blue. These 2 are green, and these 2 are red. Now, when it's my turn and I want to go after one, I need to have a card that matches the color that I'm doing. So if I was going against this red combat, I would want to use one of my red cards. Now, some of them you'll notice are 2 colors, and they can be used for both. Now, every card will have, and then actually I should point out, some of them are white, and they can be used against any cards, so they're kind of wild. The top number here shows the strength of my attack. Sometimes there'll be symbols on here as well. It says if there's a special ability that happens to this. So with this one, it's just kind of flavor text. Now this bottom section here, because this is a cooperative game, so if I'm attacking this one, the other player has the option, if they want, of boosting my attack. So I'll say, okay, I'm attacking this one. I'm attacking it by 4. And now they would have their first 7 cards. So let me just grab those real quick. I'll give it a quick shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have their 7 cards. Now, they can also assist me in my battle in this by boosting my attack. Now, to boost my attack, what they're looking at on their card is this bottom section. So they would sacrifice their card and just do the bottom section of the card. Now, some of them have bonus. Like this one has a bonus. It would do an extra 3 attack if we were going against an obstacle. This one has a trap bonus. So if we were going against a trap, it would give me, it would boost by an extra 3. So now I'm attacking red. So they would have to boost with something that is red. In this case, all the boosts are white, so that's wild, so they could boost with anything. So let's say that they boost, and they don't, and you want to be careful because you don't want to give up all of your cards, and you want to make sure that you keep your good cards because you don't draw back up. If you run out of cards, the only way to get a card is you're going to need to take an exhaustion card. And these are never good. And in fact, the exhaustion cards will have like different combination of things that could cause you to have a negative effect that's in play or something that will cause you to lose. So let's say he's going to boost me. He's going to pick one of his kind of weaker cards because he doesn't want to give up his great cards. So he's going to boost me with, not that one, with this one. So he's boosting by this one, which is a +1. So my attack is now 4 + 1, but we need a 7. So we're attacking by 5. We need a 7. We would need to have an extra 2. Now, every time you go after one of the cards, you will be rolling the dice. And we have these dice. So these ones will have the different colors on there. And basically, if we roll a red, then it's going to add to our attacks because we are doing a red attack here. And then this one has dark or light. If it's a light, it counts as an extra hit. If it's a dark, it does not. And sometimes you'll have card where if you roll a dark, it adds like an effect, and it's never a good effect. So we would roll the dice. And I got 3 extra hits here. So we got 4, 7, 8. So we're hitting it by 8. So we're more than successful. So this one gets discarded. which is good because if we failed with this one, we would have taken a health damage. We have a dice here that shows our current health, and we're currently at 10, and that's a communal 10, so we all share the same health. Now, I'm not taking any health damage, and we do get to delve down by 3, so I would put 3 cards down here, and then we would reveal the next one. So that's basically how the game plays until you get to a point where you've gone through the entire deck. You've and when it comes to refill, you don't have any cards to refill. So you now have reached the boss level. These cards would then all go away, but anything that you would still have in play. Oh, that goes in my own discard card. And this would go in his discard pile. So then these are all been dealt. This is when you would then bring the main boss cards into play here. And sorry, it goes on this side. So we have these 4 monsters that are now attached to this main monster. And in order to be able to beat our main guy, and we would actually reveal this main guy as well. And we have Battle of Wits, which is a puzzle. And what this says, so he has a health of 25. And this says, if you fail a roll, and that's this one. So if you roll a dark on the dice, a card at random from your hand, you discard a card at random from your hand, and you suffer a health equal to its value. So the value of the card that you would have to randomly discard from your hand, that's how much health you lose. Wow, this one sucks. This one would be really tough to beat because not only are you losing your card, so that's already bad because we don't draw back up, and that means we would end up with exhaust cards. And this one is give me, and so at the end of each turn, either suffer a health of damage or you remove 1 progress from Callous. That's not good either, right? So and then not only that, but then you take in the health hits. So, and what's interesting too at the end is you can't just attack the bad guy, not until you've attacked some of these other guys that will give him a vulnerability. So once you get this one and you get a vulnerability, now this one is now vulnerable to blue, so you can use your blue attack cards against the main guy, but not until you reveal that vulnerability. And then same with the red one, you have to bring out, and the green. Now, if you get all of these, then you can attack them with any cards. But you need to have these on the vulnerable side before you can start attacking the main boss. And we have this one here. These always do something a little different. And when this one happened, he's like, when rolling, if none of the 3 skill dice matches the challenge color, you turn this card face up. So when we do this, if I, like the last one, if I hadn't rolled any red, I would have had to turn this card back up. And what this one does is you cannot complete Callous's challenge and win the game. So you can't win if this card is face up. You have to defeat this one first before you can defeat Callous. So it's really neat, interesting game. We've played it a few times. I've played it, like as I mentioned, I've played it 2 players, I've played it 4 players. It was a lot of fun each time. Successful, so far we've been successful on the first one. And I want to say, I'm trying to remember what happened over the weekend. I think we lost. Because with the exhaustion cards, we had one that came up that caused us to lose the game. But this is quickly just a quick review of how Kinfire Delve, Callous Labs play. It reminds me of big fan of the one deck dungeon, and it reminds me a bit of that because you have that deck that dwindles, and once you've reached the bottom, like you reach the main boss level. And this one here is similar to that. Now with one deck dungeon, you kind of want it to take your time so you could level up as much as possible. With this one, you want to try to get down there as quick as possible because you're just taking on damage and you're losing cards. But it was a lot of fun. The dice rolling, the cards, the whole thing. You get really involved with it, and it's super exciting in this cooperative battle dungeon game, right? So it was great. Let me know if you've had a chance to play it and what you thought of it. But that was a quick overview of Kinfire Delve, Callous Lab. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Mel's Board Game Room. I'm also on Facebook at Mel's Board Game Room. My Instagram is Mel's_boardgame_room. And my podcast is The Board Game Specialist that I do with my friend Carla. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye, everybody.